Hi everybody, welcome to this video. Today we have the July and the August wrap up. Unfortunately we missed July's wrap up due to my crazy busy August. So yeah, this time around we're putting the two together, July and August. So that's why we have two massive piles here. So in July we read 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 and then there was an arc, so 10 for July and 2, 4, 6, 7 for August. So that was pretty good. I just have my reading journal with me so that I can use it if need be, and we're going to start with the July books. So the first book that I read was a movie book called The Princess Bride by William Goldman. This was for a prompt. It was for a Taylor Swift challenge, which was a book that was turned into a movie, and I have seen the movie quite a lot because it's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, it was also a part of another 2025 challenge that I'm doing for a book adapted to a movie. So yeah, it was a good read. Always been a fan of the movie. I gave it 4 stars. And if you haven't seen the movie, I strongly suggest you do. The book was a bit challenging. Like, if I hadn't seen the movie before reading it, I wouldn't have got like the humour part of the story, because it came across well in the movie. So yeah, if I didn't do it movie then book, I wouldn't have, made sense of that humour. Yeah, so I'd probably suggest opposite of what usual people say, like read the book then watch the movie. For this one, Princess Bride, I suggest movie and then book. But yeah, it was nice to read it and obviously to do those challenges and to, yeah, give the book a go as well. So that was the first one. I'm just going to turn my page. In July, I actually finished a couple of challenges too, I should mention. I finished my Taylor Swift challenge and I also finished my colour challenge as well in July. So July was like an awesome, amazing month. I am still working on my 30-second challenge shopping videos. I've got one more to do at the indie bookshop, which I'm hoping to do in the next week or two. And then I need to do my shopping challenges to celebrate my colour challenge finish as well in July. So stay tuned for all of those. Okay, our next book was Holding the Reins. This was a local book club book. Obviously, it's a cowboy romance. I did not like this. I only gave it 2 stars. I think it's because prior to that, in June, I read Done and Dusted and I loved that one. And the main reason was I thought there was a lot more plot in Done and Dusted and I just really loved that one. Whereas I thought this one was a bit more focused on the smart element of stories. And if you know me and books, I prefer more plot to smart. Like a balance has to be there. It was for no particular challenge. Obviously, as I said, it was book club. It just wasn't for me. I thought it was very cut and copy, the same as Done and Dusted as well. Lots of similarities in it to what was in there story-wise. Yeah, and as I said, it was a lot to do with the issue of too much smart and not enough story. And the fact that I had read Done and Dusted first, and I loved that one. So yeah, just wasn't for me, that one. The next one I read was The Handmaid's Tale. This one was a very interesting read. I gave it 3 stars. This was the banned book for my Taylor Swift challenge, and it was also a white book for the colour challenge as well. As I said, it was a very interesting read. Sorry, I'll pick this up so I'm not looking down too much. I liked the vocab language that was used, but I can see why it's a banned book with the topics within it. Yeah, and it was good for my prompts, obviously. Turn my page again in my journal. I should do a summary of my journal sometime for you guys. Shouldn't I? If you want to see that, pop a comment below. I finally got to reading To Kill a Kingdom. I gave this 4 stars, so I did enjoy it. This was a part of my 25 books to read in 2025, which I'm doing pretty good with. I've got about 7 to go at the moment. I'm just looking over at my card to see how many. And there is 1 on my TBR this month. So yeah, it was part of that challenge, which was good, and I finally got to read it because it's been on my TBR forever. What else did I say? So it was a good read. The middle I found was a bit boring and a bit slow, but the beginning and the end were alright. The story, characters, and I really can't see that because I am so blind at night, sorry. Yeah, so I liked the story, characters, the sirens, the pirates, part of the story within it. So yeah, it was enjoyable. Next book for July was Dial A for Arnie's. This one had been on my TBR forever too, like the one I just mentioned. This one was pretty good too. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was also a part of my 25 books to read in 2025. It was very entertaining. And it would have been good to have a bit of a glossary because there was a lot of different language use in this. I think it was like an Asian language. So yeah, that just would have been handy. That was my thought because a lot of it was used. It was fast-paced, easy to read, and enjoyable and entertaining, as I said. So yeah, pick that one up if you haven't because it was pretty good. Okay. Our next book was called Slipstream. You would have seen me get this in my blind Big W haul. This was my first like car racing sports romance, and I thought it was a good place to start with my sports romances because I'm only just starting to explore that element of romance. Sorry, my nose is itchy. It wasn't a part of a particular challenge, but obviously I got the prompt in the prompt jar to grab it. It's a good read. The romance, I can't read, sorry, my eyesight is really bad tonight. It was surprisingly an enjoyable read. It's definitely worth the read. And yeah, it was my like sort of my first sports romance. So yeah, if you're into sports romance, I definitely suggest this one. I gave it 4 stars. The next book is by an indie author. It's called Echoes and Moors. This is a prequel to the first one. of the series, which I really loved. And this one is very different. It's like a choose your own adventure, but it adds a bit of a difference to it. It has like a dice that you use for, what's the game called? Dungeons and Dragons, I think the game is called. So you use like that dice as well, which made it extra fun. I really loved the first one in the series, and I loved this as well. So I gave it 5 stars. It was not part of a challenge, but it was a new release that I was keen to get to. Yeah, and I just loved the extra dice addition to it, because back when I was a kid, obviously you had choose adventures and you made decisions and stuff like that. It also has like inventory pages, so as you go along your journey, you write your list of inventory items on there as well. So I got like a map and oil, and a machete and stuff like that. So yeah, I will definitely be picking this up again just for some fun when I need some fun. And yeah, if you haven't heard of the Shadow King Chronicles series by Sheila Morganson, who is an Australian indie author, definitely check out this and the other book in the series as well. So yeah, that was a bunch of fun. The next book I read was Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. I gave this one 4 stars. It's probably my favourite Ellie Hazelwood book. I haven't read many, to be honest, but the other ones I had read were crush shot. This was not part of a challenge, it was just one that I was keen to get to because it had been on my TBR for ages. It was a good read, favourite, as I said, of the author. The ending was sort of lacking compared to the start and the middle of the story. I think it sort of needed to be different, in my opinion. Overall, it was decent though. Yeah. Definitely my favourite of the author though. And the last book for July was A Quarter Mist and Fury by none other than Sarah J. Maas. I gave this one 5 stars. I didn't have a particular challenge for it, but my goal this year is to get through the ACOTAR series for Sarah J. Maas. I did a bit of physical and audio book just because I was sort of trying to get through it for the month of July. It was so much better, this second book, to the first book. The story was just happening more, in my opinion, and there was a bit more excitement in it. I think it was because there was additional characters in there, and yeah, it was just way more enjoyable and entertaining than the first book, for sure. I have actually today started the third one, so yeah. I'll let you know obviously in my wrap up for September about that one. Okay, so that was all of July, and we're moving on to August, which is this pile here. Swift and Saddled, which is the second book to Done and Dusted. This one I only gave 3.5 stars to. Done and Dusted I actually gave 5 stars or 4 stars to. I really enjoyed that one, but this one was a bit of a letdown. It was alright. It was a quick and easy read. I do like Lila Stage's writing. Yeah, I just thought this one, it was lacking with the story element part of it, whereas Done and Dusted had a bit more story happening with it. I will continue the rest of the series though. I'm just having a bit of a break this month from the series, and hopefully in my TBR prompts, I'll get the third one and the fourth one in the future, because I will continue it, and hopefully those ones are good. I then will put a picture up on the screen somewhere, because the next one I had was an arc from NetGalley called Blood and Roses. This was a vampire read, and I'm really into vampire stuff at the moment, as I have previously mentioned in videos. So it was cool to get this arc from NetGalley. So a big thank you to NetGalley, the publisher and the author, for this early access of the book. If I can find the release date, I will pop it up as well. I gave the book 4 stars. It was appreciated that there was English translations of some phrases within the book, because there was another language used. It's about a vampire hunter, a book, and library hunting for a particular library. There's like love in there, and there's like an element within there about tattoos and how it impacts the person, the character and stuff like that. It was really, really interesting. So yeah, I really strongly suggest you add this to your TBR when it comes out. It's really good. Okay, we're getting there. The next physical book that I read was Apprentice to the Villain. It was nice to get to the second one, and yeah, it's a really good series. I gave this one 5 stars, like the first one, and the frog character. Can't pass the frog character with these sighs. Very entertaining addition to the series, and I definitely recommend this and the first one. I do have Accomplice to the Villain on my TBR cut, so hopefully one TBR I can get to that one. The next book is fan fiction. This was August book club pick for romance, and I loved this. I gave it 5 stars. As I said to everybody at book club, I'm in my vampire era at the moment, so that's probably why I loved it. It wasn't for any particular prompts. The last few, they were for other reasons. It was OMG. I said, great vampire read. Love the stories, the characters, and I loved the show and movie references throughout it. There was even a Taylor Swift song mentioned in there. The book-themed ideas were a great element, I thought, to the writing. Yeah, it was. I highly recommend fan fiction. For any lover of vampires out there, definitely one to read. Let's turn our journal page again. Before we get to the next one in here, I did have one DNF. This was the fantasy pick for my local book club as well. It's called The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and as you can see, it's really, really thick. It's a really, really heavy read too. I only got to chapter 7, page 115, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So yeah, it was a DNF. I just couldn't do it. There was so many timelines, so many different characters. It was just everywhere in my opinion, and the story just wasn't grabbing me either. So I just went on with some more exciting reads instead of that one. And a lot of people, surprisingly, in our book club felt the same way about that, so yeah. The next book I read was a mystery book. It's Everyone in My Family Has Killed Somebody. I was looking forward to this read. It was part of my 25 books to read in 2025, but I was disappointed. It was only okay-ish. I only gave it 3 stars. Yeah, I was just hoping for more than it did for me. And I think it was the writer chats within the book that didn't do it for me. Like, it was sort of hard to write a mystery from that author perspective more than the actual, like, murder story itself, and it sort of gave stuff away too, and yeah, it was kind of dodgy in my opinion. It may work for other genres, like doing that type of thing, but for mystery, in my opinion, it doesn't work. Yeah, so I won't be continuing with this series, and yeah, parts of the story were okay, but it was only average. The next book I wrote was 6 Scorched Roses by Krista Broadbent. Another vampire one. I think that's 3, yeah, because of my arc as well. Told you I'm in my vampire era. So this is the novella between book 1 and book 2 of the series. I really enjoyed this novella, actually. Some novellas, you know, you don't really enjoy, but this one I loved. It was 5 stars. Roses are actually my favourite flower, and just the way it was written so well. So definitely read it as part of the series if you're reading the series or wanting to. Yeah, it was just a great addition to the series, and yeah, I'm looking forward to book 2, which I actually have on my September TBR, so that will be awesome. To continue with that series, I'm really enjoying it. One more book to go. The last book that I read in August was Dungeon Crawler Carl. This book has been suggested by a good friend of book club who totally loves this series, and I have been wanting to read it for months and months and months to see what it is like. I gave it 5 stars. It was so entertaining. If you haven't heard of it, definitely give it a go. It's like a game-based storyline, and it is just so fun and entertaining. So got humor in it. The characters that in it are really good. My favorite is probably Princess Donut, although the crawler guy Carl is really good as well. It's just really different to other reads, and I'm definitely going to continue the series. I have the 2nd book on my TBR card. I kind of can't stop thinking about it, so I may slip it into this month or next month, apart from the rest of my TBR, because I just, yeah, totally enjoyed that so much. It was so entertaining. And I'm definitely a part of the gang and the cult now for Dragon Caller Carl. Definitely in that gang. So yeah, that is everything that I have read in July and August. Thank you for joining me in my wrap up. Maybe pop a comment below what your favourite read was for both July and August. If you've read any of those and loved them too, or you read the some that I was not crash hot about and you loved them or didn't like them like me, be great to hear about your reads as well. Yeah, so thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for all the fun shopping challenge videos to celebrate my Taylor Swift challenge and my colour challenge that I finished in July this year, which was super fun. They will be coming. It just takes a bit of time to get there. Yeah, and I'll catch you all very soon. Bye.